to Monologues of Madness, our third edition, streaming online. The cats are here. The house is a mess. Things could crash. I feel like Sid Caesar or Imogene Coca. We have an international lineup tonight. We've got Margaret Echevarria, Jason Dubois, and Alexandra Mathie. Did I just mess that up? Mathie. Alexandra is from the UK, and she's way past her bedtime, but she's doing a fabulous monologue. You're going to fall in love with her, and she's going to have to come back. So I'll lose to that. Taffy Jaffe is on her way in. Gordon Gilbert, Elizabeth Albrecht, and David Haitkin. That's our first half. We're going to stop at 7 o'clock so that we can make a lot of noise and holler for our first responders who are making all of this possible. So we'll stop at 7, no matter who's in the lineup. But after David, we have Beth Foreman, Alice Klugers, Mark Hoffmeyer, Tulis McCall, Sydney Meyer, who will be phoning in, literally, his part, Holly Harms, and an old friend of mine, Jeff Hedquist from Iowa, or as he likes to call it, Central America. Just a couple of reminders. We're asking for donations from all of you all. When we were actually doing this in person, we had liquor, and you had to pay money to get in. So we charged everybody $15 to get in, and with that, you got a free drink. So look, you already have the free drink. So if you can afford a donation, what we're doing is passing after our expenses, which we actually do have expenses. We pass on the money to the Episcopal Actors Guild, which takes care of actors of all faiths and none. They give out donations in like the $500, $700 range to help people who need money right this second. And so there are so many actors out there who are, they were out doing their work in the boonies, and all of a sudden the show closed, and they come back home and what? So people need money to pay the rent, to pay Con Ed, to pay for their phones, all of that. We're also donating money to the Actors Fund, which is more than actors. And I always love this part. Stop it. They support the unique essential needs of all who work in entertainment and the performing arts, whether on stage or on camera, behind the scenes or below the line, as we say. We assist everyone working in theater, film, television, radio, music, dance, opera, and the circus. How many groups do you know who help circus performers and the box office and the people who put the tents up and the people who take the tents down? So we appreciate, you will see at the bottom of the screen right here, there are ways you would be sending the money to my Venmo account or my PayPal account, because it's just way, way complicated to have it go in another formation. Stop talking. And I think that's it. So I'm very excited to see what these mad people have to do tonight. So first up, we're going to have Margaret Echevarria, and I am going to go that way.
It was proven in the 1950s that viruses cause cancer. Because of this proof, the CIA worked with primates in New Orleans to create a fast-acting cancer virus for use in the assassination of my cousin, Fidel Castro. More on that relationship later. My mother was a teenager in New Orleans in the 1950s, a student at Franklin Preparatory School, where she claims they taught her to speak fluent Russian as a part of the standard curriculum. I have since grown suspicious that she learned Russian in high school, but she does indeed speak it fluently. My mother wished to be a scientist, specifically a researcher in the area of cancer. But she says her family talked her out of it because they didn't want her to catch it. We laughed about that story later because in the 70s, when I was growing up, everybody knew you couldn't catch cancer. But I just told you that it was proven in the 50s that viruses cause cancer. There were people behind curtains who needed killing. And because a fast-acting cancer doesn't look like the work of an assassin to the general public, it is much tidier than a bullet. I think my mother may have been in the running to be one of those CIA researchers, but I am grateful she was not chosen. Some resources were found dead in New Orleans in the early 60s. If my mother had been one of them, I would not be here. My mother was different. She shied away from too much attention. She charmed rooms in seconds. She loved the way I would back her up. I was always there for her, anticipating her every need and adding to her shine. I lived to reflect her and my own achievements. This attitude wholly covered my childhood. In the first 6 months of 1978, I am 8 years old. Roman Polanski blows his bail and flees to France. Ted Bundy is captured. The Soviet Union surpasses the US in stockpiling of nuclear weapons. Anwar Sadat pushes the Russian military out of Egypt and builds homegrown defenses. The president of Afghanistan and his entire family are murdered, and the Afghan civil war begins. Anwar Sadat has fired and even imprisoned those loyal to his predecessor, Nasser. Sadat is a ruler of the people, and they love him. Our Egyptian friend Karima says in whispers on a balcony in Cairo, if Sadat said to the people, eat garbage, the people would eat garbage. The president of Yemen is murdered. There are student riots in Tehran. Sadat screws up a hostage situation in Cyprus, resulting in 18 deaths and lost favor of Egypt with Syria. So Egypt begins to cozy up to, of all nations, Israel. And tension in the Middle East is what it was the day Daniel was cast into the lion's den in Babylon. I am vaccinated for yellow fever, smallpox, and cholera. I am vaccinated for cholera only once. One should be vaccinated for cholera twice in a 6-week period. I am not. I was vaccinated once. My mother is in nursing school. After a long detour as a librarian, a wife, a mother, and a school teacher, we land in Cairo the second week of July, 1978. Anwar Sadat is president. My mother's friend Fatma, her roommate at the University of Iowa, who brought us to Cairo, has the last name Nasser and discusses politics only in secret for fear of, as she puts it plainly, being killed. Fatma's brother is a founding member of the Muslim Brotherhood. Our story, my mother's and mine, in the summer of 1978 is that we are tourists in Egypt at the invitation of Ms. Nasser, to see the pyramids, the Nile, the temple at Luxor, the Aswan Dam, and such. Many years later, Fatma is missing, and I think our official story may have been bullshit. Was my mother on a mission for the CIA? A red-headed little girl of 8 was perfect cover to travel the nation of Egypt, take meetings, gather information, and perhaps prevent the future assassination of President Sadat. No one anticipated that I would become sick with cholera and ruin the whole thing.
That's it?
That's it!
Oh my God.
Stay tuned.
Jeez. And I'm going, yeah. How could you stop talking?
None of it is true.
You little wench.
None of it is true at all.
No, I know these stories, Margaret. So you're exactly 20 years younger than I didn't know.
Oh, is that true?
Well, you're the big 5-0.
I am the big 5-0. Yeah.
I know. I like it when it's decades. It's so much easier to remember. Right?
I do too.
Yeah.
I think I'll stay 5-0 for the next, 10 years or so.
I tried that. It worked really well for a really long time.
Excellent.
So tell me something that's working for you. You look radiant, by the way.
Oh, thank you. My mother actually sent me this new dress. So that's working brilliantly for me.
It's gorgeous. Yep, you look great. Well, all right, we'll take that. Love you. Thank you for being. I can't believe you ended that story. Oh no.
Oh, you only give us 4 minutes, precious.
I know, honey. And you stick to your minutes. All right, off with Margaret. And now the next person reading is Jason Dubow. Welcome, Jason.
Hi, Tulis.
Hi, Jason. I'm out of here.
All right. Ways of coping. I make lists: bread, milk, tahini, pay X, email Y, Zoom with Z. Words of interest: pangolin, delamination, cockwomble, kuchiabishi, force majeure, snafu. A partial accounting of my engagement with disaster capitalism, Cracker Jacks and Fruity Pebbles, books about boredom and plagues, guaifenicin, elderberry gummies, and 3 oximeters. We'll trade 1 for Clorox wipes. A pound each of gelatin and tapioca, a baby octopus, 3 kinds of dried mushrooms, not that kind, but I'm considering, reams of printing paper, cases of wine, Gatorade, and cold brew, 7 types of flour, yeast, obviously, preserved radish, and a variety of vinegars, hot sauces, and chutneys. A friend plays accordion in the woods and shares "how could you not see this coming" quotes from 19th century Russian novelists. A neighbor and his wife created an imaginary friend, Janet, who serves as both convenient scapegoat and source of reassurance, a divine avatar, if you will. Janet did it. Janet says everything happens for a reason. My yoga teacher shares a mantra: sadness, fear, anxiety, grief, longing. My sister-in-law just wants everybody to chillax. I've been cooking and eating with a vengeance. Mana from Fresh Direct arrives every Saturday morning. Like many of you, I have sourdough starter coming out of my ass. One morning, the sound of sirens replaced by birdsong, we eat hot dogs for breakfast. As we go our separate virtual ways, I call out, "Dinner at 7. My way of saying, I love you. When Lovely asks our younger son how he's feeling, he shrugs, but when pushed, gives a reluctant nod of assent to sadness and disappointment, a whispered, "a little, I guess," to the suggestion of fear. Our older son, generally more forthcoming but ever elliptical, tells us he sees the situation as, quote, "a matter of finding the reflection inside the castle." I wind down by listening to This Week in Virology and checking sports news, of which there is none. Lovely prefers Dharma seed and an expanded skincare regime. We are a self-sufficient lot. My sister insists on hope, counters no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There has to be hope, she says, repeating as necessary with rising stridency. Her absoluteness triggers my oppositional nature, but she might be right. Hope a viable strategy. I am not a man with a better plan. She has 2 young children. I understand where she's coming from. You do you. Analyze epidemiological studies until the bees buzz. Double down on your rants against or for socialism. Tell your waiting for Godot joke daily. Get a cat. Get a dog. Get a frog. Get married or get divorced. Take the red pill or the blue. Hydroxychloroquine, or, might I suggest, a dose of cyanide? I chastise myself. I lament. I got too comfortable with what is, will be. See again, Nana Ruth, Holocaust, bad shit happens. Doubt, then verify. Lovely and I never updated our wills. I tear up easily, news, music, the breeze, but I've only cried twice. On the way to pick up my older son from college, lost in Hackensack, a hard rain falling, and watching our neighbor kneel in prayer behind a hearse carrying her dead mother. I miss baseball. I feel old. I don't know how to pray. I can't focus. I can't fathom the future. The days seem simultaneously longer and shorter. At a loss for words, I text, "fuck." I feel blessed, or maybe it's lucky or privilege. One day I wandered the house crooning, "When will I see you again?" I am not without hope. I tell a friend with whom I share an interest in existential risk that in this calamitous moment, I would advise my kids not to have kids. My friend says, "choose life or don't." My father-in-law, a rare moment of coherence and senility, pronounces, "never fear, my children, pass." I keep my darkest thoughts and feelings for my loved ones, though of course this does nothing to alleviate my terror or theirs. Thank you.
Nicely, Johnson. How do you like your new haircut? This is a pandemic haircut.
It's getting a little long. It's been 2 weeks.
I know, you said, I think it looks fabulous.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to look scruffy.
No, you don't. Not on this show.
No, certainly not.
No. So other than your haircut, you're in New Jersey?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Carroll Gardens.
It's there. I don't know. What's working for you?
Well,
Besides your haircut.
I wrote something for this. That's good.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I'll just keep writing things.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm done.
All right.
I'm done teaching. So.
Come back soon.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Be well.
Stick around. Go watch the rest of your
I will. Okay. Bye, Tulis.
Bye. Thank you again, Jason. Woo, now we bring on Alexandra. And I'm not sticking around to see if I messed up her name. I'm out of here.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Alexandra. This is the producer. I'm Ruby. I seem to not be able to hear you, so I want to fix this. Let's see. Did you happen to press the mute button on your screen?
Nope.
Oh, wait. I think I got you back. I think I just did something on my end. Okay. If you wouldn't mind, would you please start over? That way everybody can hear your monologue.
Sure.
Okay. Take 2.
About a month ago, I promised my agent, rather rashly, that I would use this coronavirus lockdown period to get au fait with some vital actors' technology. In her terms, that means video. Specifically, self-taping for castings. Now, I have done it once before. Yes, only once. I know, sad. And it was a total disaster. I think my agent was embarrassed. I was. Anyway, surprise, surprise, I didn't get it. Life is too short, I said to myself, and I prefer the theatre anyway. Well, that was then. This is now. And now we have COVID-19. And of course the theatres are closed. All contracts rescinded. Result? The fascinating and hilarious new play about nuns and robots I was due to be in has been cancelled. My portrayal of acting Mother Superior Elizabeth as she wrestles with artificial intelligence denied to the good people of Manchester. So cruel. I had already been to a convent, read some very dense and difficult texts. I mean, the hills were alive. Anyway, COVID-19, COVID-19, has put me right back to overacting in front of the tiny screen. Apparently, the sight of me in horizontal view on my smartphone, trying to impress a casting director with my relaxed approach to filming myself, is the only kind of audition now available to me. So, I made that promise. And yes, I will mistress this. So, here I am, having a go. I may tell you that this is after several weeks of gardening, biscuit making, and other domestic activities that never normally get my full attention. And yes, I have to confess, procrastinator that I am, I did begin by going to my comfort zone first. Audio. Just for a treat. I know a lot of people in audio. A lot. And I really worked hard. Advice was sought on suitable equipment, mail order was completed online, and just a few days ago, the packages started to arrive. Gloved and masked delivery men told me to stand back while they put well-sealed boxes on the step and took photos to prove they'd delivered. All very impressive. Professional, almost. A Podcast Pro microphone, an audio interface, a mic stand, black padded headphones, and some heavy-duty cabling. The mic fits on the stand, tick. The stand fits on the table, tick. And the cable, the lovely cable, fits into both the mic and the audio interface. Anyone else have one of these? A little black box with dials and flashing lights. It likes to be attached to everything, male or female. Jack's in, Jill's out. It all looks so very efficient. It will definitely do the... I will squirrel myself away in this time of crisis with soft duvets and puffed pillows. My snugly fitting super light headphones will kiss my ears. Yes, this is my true milieu. There will be podcast interviews, audiobooks, and voiceovers offered to those who have studio facilities in their own home. Oh, yes, now we're talking. This is my future. And the microphone is so handsome. I mean, handsome. Who needs video other than my agent? Who? What am I doing? Why am I wasting my time talking to the screen? Goodbye.
Well, you made me laugh, girl. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thought that was wonderful. How'd you feel?
I'm shaking.
This is your first time doing this sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, my first time trying to write something that I would then read. So yeah.
Did some lovely. And plus you're up at 11 o'clock at night. You may go have an adult beverage now, in case you didn't have one before.
I didn't. That would be very nice. Thank you.
Yes, we do. I hope you'll come back and tell me something that's working for you in your lovely life.
Well, my dog, my wife, my gardening, my biscuit making, all those things, and people. Still, it's people who do it for me. So even for me,
yeah. Well, it's so wonderful to have you join us. I've been waiting for this for so long.
Yeah, I can't believe, and it took us to be in separate countries for it to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, and it took COVID. I mean, this is a...
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, we have to look at the places where we can. Yeah,
I know. So we'll get you back again soon.
Cheers.
Send my love to your honey bunch.
Lots of love. Thank you.
Bye. Watch the rest if you can. If not, it's being recorded, so you can watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
All right. Good night. Mwah. Let's see. Who else is next? Oh, the lovely Taria Joseph. She's next, and I'm... Oh, God, I get this so mixed up. I'm going this way. Woo-woo!
Zoom in captivity. Hasn't it been a lifesaver? From acting classes online to workout sessions early in the morning to Sunday night family meetings I call a house party. Drop in when you want, leave when you want. Play readings weekly with my acting family. And the one I've come to love the most is the one where old friends, male and female, meet once a week on Zoom, of course. Telling theater, war stories, joking with each other, remembering the plays, films we've done when we were kids, planning COVID-19 online events, celebrating May birthdays, toasting each other, discussing how, if the future may ever tolerate huge theatrical gatherings again. Of the 15 people gathered on my screen last week, most are friends of over 50 years. A few are writing memoirs, one-person shows, some are participating in online play readings. I admire their charities that they're trying to nurture, but most of us just love talking for a few hours to those friends who pre-COVID-19 had no time to get on the phone with each other. Too busy, time difference. I'm guilty too. Some haven't spoken in years. We talk about those we wonder are still alive. Most of us are in our 70s, a few older. But what struck me this past week, as I looked around my longtime friends, playwrights, actors, directors, novelists, writers, MFA candidates, all seniors in their partridge family boxes, some sitting with their spouses, some holding their cats, everybody's drinking something. I realized that at least 4 of them were exes of mine, sort of. They were either friends versus lovers, or friend equals lovers, or friend does not equal lover, assailant versus victim. To protect the innocent and tolerate the guilty, in the aftermath of this meeting, I have renamed these men: mistake, denier, liar, assailant. The latter's appearance made me sweat, mute my mic, and straighten out my face. He came on toward the end of the meeting, had technical difficulties. He announced he was 83. Let me tell you, 2 people on that grid knew about the liar and me, what we went through. Maybe they've forgotten it over the years, but I never will. The assailant is unknown as the assailant, one who believed 50 years ago that no meant yes. The mistake is in the closet about our single encounter, even to me. He's a friend, though. The denier pretends we never were, or makes jokes only we can understand, or so he thinks. He's also a friend. Each one of my exes has a colorful story, which I'll tell you about another time. But right now, just between you and me, I wonder, should I be enraged at myself for being so calm, for protecting the guilty, for understanding and accepting of how I was wronged? Maybe I'll get angry later. Maybe after a few drinks. Maybe never. The statute of limitations on my heart has expired. The bruises have long since healed. Maybe this monologue is all I needed. I'll let you know. Thank you.
Ooh, nice, Missy. Really, really. I think there's a lot of us out here going, uh-huh. So it made the hairs on my arms, not that I have a lot, but made it stand up. So thank you for being brave. That's a brave monologue, which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
So, my darling, what's working for you these days?
Oh, pretty much same. I'm trying to be calm. I'm trying to not judge. I'm trying to enjoy the moments I have with the people that I can talk to online, because I am alone. Counting the weeks. I don't know. Of course, wine and cooking.
I know. I've been actually cooking with recipes. Usually I just kind of, look and see what's in the cupboard. But I've actually gotten recipes out now.
Like Mom used to do. My mother used to come and visit. She used to bring her recipe box.
Your mother?
Yeah. So she could come and she could cook for us. She'd bring her recipe box.
I love it. Do you have it now?
I don't.
Oh, one of those sisters got it.
Oh, maybe. I'll have to find out.
Yeah. Check that.
Yeah.
All right. I know you have other commitments tonight. Thank you for including us in the list of wonderful things to do.
And me too. Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. Come back. Okay. Is Taffy Jeffy in the house? No? Yes?
Producer Ruby flying in. Hello, everybody. I feel like you're seeing a lot of my face tonight. Taffy is not on the broadcast studio yet. I think we're having a few issues getting her on. So
Gordon is working with her, right?
Yes, but I think for now we can move on to Gordon because I think he looks ready and all queued up in the broadcast studio.
Okay, and then he can get off and be relieved and go help Taffy. Hey, Gordon, come on in. I'm going over there. I'm going that way. Oh, no, that way.
Two monologues, just so people don't get confused. Yeah, we serve coffee. I'll take your order. You want some coffee? Please, stop right there. This ain't no Starbucks. Yeah, we serve coffee, but only 4 ways. So order your coffee using just 4 words, okay? Coffee black, no sugar. Coffee black with sugar. Coffee milk, no sugar. Coffee, milk, and sugar. Is that clear enough? Now let's try again. I'll take your order. You want some coffee? We come here often. I'm a working mom. I got 3 kids, 4, 6, and 8. I'm on my own. The scumbag left me, that piece of shit, but we're doing okay. When I get home after a long day, God knows I'm tired, too tired to cook. So during the week, 3 times, sometimes 4, me and the kids, we eat dinner here. Yeah, at George's Diner. Except on pizza nights when we get delivery. I can afford it. Worked my way up. I'm middle management now. I know the owner. A good man, George. Greek American, like me. Here in New York, Greeks own most diners. How you can tell? Just open the menu. The menus are huge. There's always lots of choices, but always a section that has Greek dishes. That's how you know. The kids like variety. Plenty of that here. Greek food for me. So everybody's happy. The portions are large. Lots to take home. We got a routine. I call George ahead for our favorite booth. Way in the back. The wraparound one. We arrive at 6. The kids are noisy. Us being in back, that don't bother George, since we're regular customers, and it don't hurt none that I'm Greek American. What I like best, no cooking for me. What the kids like best, no dishes to wash. So screw that scumbag. Who needs them anyway? We're doing just fine. If you ask me, life couldn't be better. Thank you.
Oh, well, there you are. Okay. Wonderful people, Gordon. Wonderful people. You just get a little, I don't know, you just get into their skin. I think it's, well, that's what you do. I like it.
Thank you.
And it's also a little raw. You know, people getting along, figuring out life. So thank you. What's working for you, my dove?
Oh, still taking those walks,
I
but
know.
tomorrow I'm going upstate. They're opening up the Finger Lakes. I'll
Then-
keep you posted.
Yeah, do. And
Update.
yeah, so it will be a different epicenter.
Yes. Well, no. Don't say that.
But you should do a website, Gordon, because your photographs and your commentary are wonderful. So you should just think about doing that. It's easier than you think.
I'll consider it. Thank you.
And are you helping our darling Taffy to get online?
We got the Chrome on there, but it ain't being recognized. So, it keeps telling her to put Chrome on. I put Chrome on 3 or 4 times. She's got a gazillion Chrome. So I'm still working on it. I think it's not the default. And that's my fault.
Yeah, well, she's got to open it up.
She
Have
did.
it open and then
She did.
and
But
she took the link and pasted it there?
I think that I got the answer. I have to show her how to make it the default browser.
Or can she just copy the link and put it into Chrome? Yeah, right. Okay, never mind.
I asked her about that.
Oh, well.
I will work
I know
on
she's
it.
dressed up. She's got to have a place to go. Keep working on it, bud.
I will.
All right. Thank you, darling.
Bye-bye.
Just want you all to know that we've raised almost $200, which just about covers our expenses. For those of you who are watching, please, if you can donate $5, $10. A lot of what we collect comes in very small amounts, and it's going to people who need it, perhaps as much as you do. So every little drop in the bucket really makes a big difference. And I'm just going to keep saying that until you go, God, tell her to shut up. I'll donate $500 million. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me see. Who's next? Ah, Elizabeth Albrecht. Here she comes.
Okay.
And I go, oh, I'm not.
Hello, Tulith.
Oh, now to me, you look upside down. So I don't know. Ruby, is she upside down or not?
Nope, she is right side up. I'm checking on Facebook and YouTube. We are good to go.
It's so hilarious.
Okay.
I guess I'm special, Elizabeth. Bye-bye.
So, good evening, everybody. In a recent discussion on the upcoming election, President Trump says he will be especially vigilant in guarding against ballots cast by people who are dead. Now, this blatant discrimination against this much maligned group has brought home this ugly fact. Americans have a deep-seated aversion to death. We do our best to shut off all thoughts of dying. We stigmatize those that has happened to. Not only do we deny them their right to vote, we don't want the dead in our communities. We persist in seeing them as somehow different. And this kind of prejudice, like sexism, ageism, or racism, hurts us too, because by refusing to celebrate the contributions of those who have chosen this alternate lifestyle, we're depriving ourselves of all the dead could add to our job market, our neighborhoods, our culture. Yet, with this discrimination, it persists. Many employers, for instance, have a bias against hiring dead people. Most businesses are more likely to hire a live person, whether or not that person's being alive is necessary to perform their duties. Prospective employers claim a dead person is more likely to work slowly, fall down on the job, not be all there, suffer from chronic absenteeism, all were referred to as late. Discrimination abounds in the housing sector too, again, to our cost. We deprive ourselves of the dead in our neighborhoods where only live families can live. Where are the dead to live? How often? The answer is not in my backyard. But even if we accept the dead as contributing members to our workforce, our communities, and our culture, are we still doing enough to include them in our lives? How can we best show our solidarity with this shunned group? That's easy. Join them. As the governor of Texas said, there are worse things than dying, and he should know. Plus, remember, because of the federal incompetence, even though you're dead, you may still get a stimulus check. Please don't think because you're dead you don't deserve one. After all, who deserves stimulus more? You're dead. Thank you. Please consider this.
Whoa, Elizabeth. I don't know where your ideas come from, but I love them.
From Texas.
Are you from Texas?
No, but the governor of Texas is.
Yeah, the one who's willing to die.
He's there now.
Yep. Where are you? Where do you live? Trying to see if my light's good.
I live in Brooklyn.
All right, Brooklyn. We got Brooklyn heard from, Iowa, the UK. All right. Tell me something that's working for you now, baby.
Well, fortunately, my Wi-Fi is working, so I'm glad for that. And
we're all glad for that.
That's about it.
All right. Well, I'm glad everybody got to see you. I adore your work, and you'll be back soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending your time with us. And make sure you hang around and go to the other link and
definitely, yeah.
Watch people and give me $10.
Okay, 20.
Okay, 20. I'll take it. All right. Mwah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Margaret. Margaret. See? That's what happened. I'm busier than I've ever been. what happened to this friggin' sequestering the thing, quarantine. I'm all zoomed out, by the way. But I really taking acting classes. I'm doing this. I'm doing, it's really busy. And I still haven't done my taxes. David Haitkin, is he around? Did he make it?
Yeah.
Look at you, little pumpkin Bowie. Okay, I'm out of here.
Okay. I'm more afraid of miasmic dysentery than COVID-19. To call miasmic dysentery by another name, let's try too much of nothing. Miasmic dysentery is the disease that everyone has nowadays, no matter what COVID-19 status you have that you can't figure out through testing. Unlike typical dysentery, it doesn't cause brown stains in the physical world. The worst part is that you have to live through the nameless and shapeless discomfort. I am afraid not of fear itself, but rather of nothing. I'm 66 years old and still trying to figure out what to do when I grow up. So this past September, I went to work at a super progressive school most every day to push in as a special ed teacher. After several months of working there, I was forced to realize that I was a privileged white male who didn't really deserve to breathe. I went every day religiously, despite needing to be re-educated about what I was. Then, on March 16th, I was called upon to do something impossible. I had to try to work through Zoom. Zoom revealed that unlike the reporters on the NewsHour, the background of my place had a primordial Tobacco Road stoner look. How do you deliver remedial lessons through Zoom when the kids are already so sick of being online? When I was in school, I'd help the kids with their assignments, but sensitive teachers working at the school give the kids no work that can't be completed within their class times. Before COVID, I'd go to work and get dressed and go somewhere. It took 45 minutes, involved a bus and train. The road between my bathroom and where I sit and type, though only a few steps, seems like an impenetrable barrier, similar to the wall Trump wanted to build but couldn't. I begin this silent scream of desperation, anticipating the day's Zoom sessions early in the day. When I need to scream out loud, I have to turn the machine off. There is no sympathy for me. Teachers are supposed to adjust immediately to the situation. Otherwise, you are a selfish bastard. I am a selfish bastard. Thanks.
Well, I love a guy who admits it. There aren't a lot of people that do that, David. I'm listening to it. Right. And yours was another one that I wanted more. Oh, well. Yeah, Zoom. And I haven't grown up yet. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of us out there running around going, when am I supposed to feel grown up? Just when does that kick in? Not yet. So tell me something and where are you?
Well, I'm divided between Brooklyn and then I just bought a house upstate and we're painting the house, which is a relief from Zoom.
Because there was what?
We're painting it.
Yeah, because why?
We put it in December.
Where upstate?
Ancrum, New York.
Oh my God, I have a dear old friend that lives in Ancrum. Yeah, and they also have some kind of strange short, like Scottish ponies up there. They breed them, and they're not like they're bigger than Shetland ponies, but it's this whole fancy breed. Something you didn't know. Look around. Well, congratulations. So I guess that's working for you. What else is working for you?
My dog.
Your dog?
Yeah, she's named Pearl. She really helped.
Where is she?
Well, I think the other thing working for me is my husband, but he's bringing the dog, and we're going to show you.
Yeah, well, a lot of good he does. Oh, Oh, you have a good husband to have him do that.
I do. I do.
And what is this little person's name?
This is Pearl.
Pearl?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. Is she a Lhasa?
No, she's a Shih Tzu.
Oh, look at her. She's just going, whatever. Yeah, I'm right here. I got one of my humans. Oh my God.
She's
Well, thank you. Thank you. Now that's working for me. I know. I'd have to have a dog again at some point. Congratulations. Okay, so house party. Let us know when the house party is. We'll be up.
Definitely.
And thank your husband.
Thanks, RJ.
Yeah, so, looks like you got a lot working for you, David.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Beautiful piece. Thank you so much.
thank you.
I want your dog. I'm coming up. I want the dog.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh my God. Isn't she cute? All right, just here. What? Ooh, Beth Foreman. Up you come. Okay, now you're sideways on my screen. Don't touch anything. Ruby, is she okay on the screen?
She is good to go.
Okay, just pay no attention. I'm gone. I'm just paying no attention.
Do you want me to reverse the screen? Alrighty. Tonight's class, we are going to be covering verb forms. So here we go. When we take an active verb and add ing to it, the resulting word functions as an adjective, that is a participle. The ing form also functions in a sentence as a noun, that is a gerund. Damn, I'm losing them. Miss Jones is staring at the dust particles in the light beam, and Mr. Brown has just fallen into a nose-picking reverie. Okay, wake up time. So let's consider some examples. Take the verb to fuck. Adding ing gives us fucking. Now let's use it in a sentence. John Donne was a fucking genius. Participially speaking, that is adjectively, there's no doubt about that statement. Fucking in this context means awesome, amazing. Now, gerundively speaking, that statement is open to conjecture. How can we know for sure if John Donne ranked among the 98th percentile of fuckers in his time? I submit the following excerpt from his seduction poem titled To His Mistress on Going to Bed. Not mistress in the sense we use it today, but rather his girlfriend, his babe. License my roving hands and let them go, before, behind, between, above, below. Oh, my America, my newfound land, how blessed am I in thus discovering thee. Then where my hand is set, there my seal shall be. Applying the gerund test, the smart money is on the Dean of St. Paul's. Now, let's consider another example. That is one fucking miracle. In Portrait of the Artist, James Joyce grappled with the concept of the virgin birth. Mary, married to Joseph, but being impregnated by God, would be at best an adulteress, at worst, to quote Joyce, a whore. Certainly, divine conception is truly a fucking miracle. That is divine, beyond human comprehension and unfathomable. Gerundively, we'd have to spend the rest of the class delving into metaphysics, biology, comparative religion, so we'll let that one rest for now. And one last example. One of you was heard to mutter while leaving class last week, write a 3-page paper describing a penny? That, Miss Foreman, is a fucking pain in my butt. Participially, you betcha. Gerundively, not if your grade depends on it. So, what I hope I have impressed upon you tonight is twofold. First, always make sure your ing verb forms pass both the participle and gerund tests. And second, think, write, behave, act, speak, and comport yourselves as if your fucking lives depended on it. Done.
I don't even dare speak after that. I don't know if it's a gerund or if it's participle. I'm just a little, a little intimidated. I don't know, Beth, if I can talk to you about this. If you'll pardon me, it was fucking hilarious. I don't know if I'm using it right, but oh, that was a cat. I love that. I love that. I want her to do more stuff. Dangling participles. I want all that. What's the when we remember in seventh grade, you declined a sentence.
Oh yes.
Subject.
You diagrammed and
Yeah, but it wasn't it called didn't you decline it? Or is that right? See, already. Subject, verb, predicate. Beth, you've opened up a world here. I want more of it. If I hear one more person say awesome, I'm going to kill them. Or like. There's a lot of people on NPR that do that. Like, and so, I'm just going, do you not have a producer who can? Guess not. Brilliant, darling. And you're in Brooklyn too?
Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Oh, all right. Okay. So that's good because we were leaning this way. Now we're leaning over here to New Jersey. All right. Thank you, my darling. We'll see you again soon. It was great. It was great. Okie dokie. Alice Klugertz. Alice, say your last name.
Klugertz.
Oh, I did.
It's a clue and a Gertz.
It's
Klugertz. It means wise heart or intelligent heart in German. This is not a monologue. It's a lonologue. COVID is like a fog, and we're all covered in it. The loneliness is placated by Zoom and FaceTime. It soothes the ache like when we eat crap. We're satiated and still ravenous. Just as I was getting into the swing of my unsustainable schedule on Friday the 13th, it all stopped. There was a silence. It was disturbing and awesome. Just as the first thing I noticed was that I couldn't figure out when or if anything got done. Is it Wednesday or Friday? The second was mental illness doesn't take a holiday. The third is that I finally had the right to be lonely. The fourth was that for a while I started to think it was becoming winter, that summer had just disappeared. And the fifth was that I started having hot flashes again. Like bolts of energy. I wanted a one-night stand. There were nights when I felt willing to pay for it. And for a moment, no one was rushing. I had always wanted everything to stop so I could catch up. And then it all started again in this new way I call theoretical doing. You look into the screen, it looks at you. You talk to it, it talks to you. But what are you actually doing? Suddenly, I had to worry about what my apartment looked like, at least as far as the Zoom camera could see. And then there's death. A whole lot of death, close but unseen. What separates the news and movies? Our intellect? Our primitive brain doesn't know the difference. Unless you see the bodies being moved into the trucks, it's part of the fog. We're the extras in a long B movie. So I want to ask, when are they serving lunch? When can I take off my mask? And the nurses who come onto Facebook and tell us about the mistakes, the chaos that kills their patients, the stubbornness, the ego, and how much they don't know. The masks they don't have and the people who won't wear them. Truth is, way before Maria Kondo, we got rid of our backup. The huge storage facilities full of supplies we now need, it took up space. It did not spark joy. And because it cost money, the government got rid of it. The world stopped, and just like a Zoom call that freezes, it sped up when it unfroze. My to-do list itself would not practice social distancing. Apply for grants, make videos, fight with my computer, apply for unemployment, get a roommate for my couch? It's too much, so I start a new list. It's like the Mad Tea Party. I just move onto a list that seems more manageable. Make a pot of soup, laundry, shop. I figure that the new list will pressurize the old list into getting it done. Satiated with Netflix and irritated by details, when I can't find something in my apartment or the computer, I panic. I'm part squirrel. Instead of acorns, I bury time. I'm not sure who is more lost, the thing I'm looking for or me. And without going out, I'm having trouble making transitions from one thing to another. I begin each day thinking, I'll just do this one thing. It shouldn't take long so I can get to what I actually want to do. But first I'll check my emails, and they're so cryptic that I have no real grasp as to what they're inviting me to do or buy or say or investigate. And then the day's over. I can remember how it began and ended, but the middle is fuzzy. What will be my next move? Become part of a theoretical workforce? Is Big Brother going to hire a 65-year-old woman? Can I make a theoretical resume out of my phone skills and sparkly sense of cynicism? Can I express my feelings as I help people on my new customer service job? We're all together shifting into a new form of chaos, waiting for the permanent fog to lift.
Oh my God. I'm just going, yep. I get so crazy with the people that aren't, I mean, what's the big deal? Wearing a mask and putting on gloves. Please tell me what the inconvenience of that is.
Why are we stopping everything and making everything go into chaos? Yeah. What are we doing it for? Can't you just wear a mask?
Yeah. It's like, come on, really? That's a big deal? And then in where I live, we've got people who sit on benches and they all sit close together and they all chat with each other. And then we've got other people, and they don't have anything on. And then we've got other people running through because they're the joggers and they don't have any protection on. It's like, what am I missing here about how difficult this is? So, yeah, and I get lost in the day. I get lost. You know, it's just, anyway. But you know what? I'm okay. I'm healthy. I got crazy cats. Tell me what's working for you, my darling.
My friend.
Fabulous apartment. Oh my God.
Thank you. My friends, my cats, Netflix, movies, food. My friends are calling me more often, which is really nice. New friends.
We're all calling each other more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, my pumpkin. What we're going to do now, first of all, thank you, Alice. Wonderful work.
Thank you to us, fearless leader.
Yeah, well, I have fun. So now we're going to take a little break here because it's about to be the time for where we bang our pots and pans for our first responders. And I see so many of you. Thank you so much, people, I see all these wonderful comments. Alice is fabulous. Alice, we love you. Oh, Alice. Theoretical doings. Yes. Thank you, Alice. So I'm watching all of these. Thank you so much for being here. And if you can afford $5 donation, or maybe even 10, or maybe like, $1 million, we're close to covering our expenses, and that's kind of a big deal. And then we can give the rest away. So you may not think that $5 means a lot. You'd be totally wrong. I feel like Jerry Lewis. No, I'm going to change that. So we're going to take a break now, and we'll be back at 7:05. Ruby's got some fabulous pictures she's putting up, and I'm going to put my computer over by the window. I think I'm still on, so I'm going to put my computer by the window so that you can hear, I guess I am, so that you can hear my neighborhood go a little. Blah, blah, blah. See you at 7:05. Well, okie dokie. I think we're back. Yes, we are. I hope you enjoyed that. It's great. Usually I'm out there whoop, 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 whooping on my balcony. This just in, Biden asks Amy Klobuchar to undergo vetting to be running mate. We are nothing if not current. Mark Hoffmeyer, are you out there, my darling? Polly McIntyre, I think you just gave us money. Thank you so much. Is Mark around?
Here.
There you are.
Hey, hello, Tulis.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a jacket and tie. You look quite smashing.
The first time I've ever put one on.
Whoa. Boy,
For
do
the
I.
occasion. You know, it's like totally awesome, girl.
I'm coming. I'm getting you. All right, I'm out of here. I'm out of there. I'm out of there. I'm going.
See ya. So come on, Democrats. Get your act together and quickly, or you'll deserve the snowflake label they've pinned on you. Aren't they great at name calling, though? Kind of reminds me of grammar school when the bullies started calling the vulnerable kids fairy. Doesn't it get you dander up? You know, my mother used to tell me to just pop them on the nose real good and they'll relent. Well, can't do that, of course. But there must be some strategy for retaliation. Hey, we had a recent showing of that film Network up there, and by golly, I have never laughed so hard in my life. What did that crazy newscaster say? You've got to get mad. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Now that's the spirit. Yeah, let that infuse you with enough motivation to jumpstart your engine and begin campaigning. It is not only the job of the team effort. Change is the people's responsibility. Well, I've harped on that enough. It's going to take a Herculean effort to topple this relentless wave of retro-conservatism. People are gullible and naive. And when someone speaks to their gut feeling of being cheated or having something taken away from them that they deserve, or worse, feel is their God-given right, they will react emotionally and believe any pack of lies that reinforce their belief. Dare I remind you of what happened to Germany after the Great War? Nope. Not going to discuss that disaster. That's for another visit. I will admit to teasing Winston at Yalta, which did amuse Stalin. I did so only to appeal to the Russians' good side, since I naively assume everyone has one. I apologize to the stalwart Brit for my anemic attempt at humor. You know, I'm thinking I would love another martini. But as the old adage goes, one ain't enough and two is too many. It wasn't alcohol or tobacco that killed me, you know. Massive cerebral hemorrhage. I assume those still exist. I had been sick for some time, more ailments than Doan's has pills. But something entirely unsuspecting did me in. Apologies, don't mean to get morbid. My point in bringing this up is we don't know when the Grim Reaper will knock on our door. So, if there's anything you want to do that's on your must-do list, I think they refer to that now as a bucket list. Don't wait too long before you do it. And if you've got family, anywhere at all in the world, let them know you love them every chance you get. Don't be afraid of overdoing it. Err on the side of too much rather than not nearly enough. Well, my time's just about up. Friends, be disciples and harbingers of goodwill, and do not despair. Keep communicating with each other. They say communication is a leadership skill, and I would agree. It's not just getting your mug out there in front of everyone, it's saying something that resonates with truth, engages people on a personal level, speaks to them directly about something they care deeply about. Not that a little showmanship is a bad thing, just keep it on the little side. A well-timed joke is risky, occasionally worth the risk. Humor is better. Will Rogers was my idea of a humorist. After eating an entire bull, a mountain lion felt so good he started roaring. He kept it up until a hunter came along and shot him. The moral? When you're full of bull, keep your mouth shut. Now, that is the best advice you could give any politician, yes? All together now. Happy days are here again. The sky above is clear again. Let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. Thank you. Cheers.
Just fabulous. Just fabulous. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Will Rogers also said, I don't belong to an organized political party. I'm a Democrat.
Yes, indeed.
I know. Wow. We could
Yeah.
use them all now. So thank you for resurrecting that fine bad Bowie.
He's a fine bad boy, isn't he?
I know.
One
Thank
we
you.
could use right now. By golly.
I know. And I love your backdrop. This is it's just perfect. It's kind of like, oh, it's kind of old timey and
Yeah.
wow, it's great. It's great. It's great. So where do you live?
123rd in Amsterdam. We talked about this. You live at 129th.
But I love how you had to go,
Yeah. Where do I live? Yeah.
yeah,
And
neighbors. Yeah.
we're going to go to Maison.
Maison Harlem as soon as it opens up again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm on 129th, just off of Amsterdam. So we're like this far apart. I don't think we've known each other for years. We never knew that. Oh, New Yorkers. So
I
tell me.
wrote this piece. It's actually an hour-long, one-person play, and I wrote it specifically to do in colleges this fall, provided they're even in session, so that I can, at the end of it, after a brief Q&A, register those little rascals that aren't registered to vote, because it's the 18 to 25s that I think are going to make or break.
Well, people might be looking for online stuff too.
Yeah, could be online too.
So although it's not as it's not the same as you standing there staring them in the face.
In the beginning, I
used to tour colleges, so I know it makes it actually being there. What's working for you, my pumpkin?
This has been a wonderful. It's hard to. I mean, I'm almost a little guilty saying, but you did before about how busy you are. But this has been an incredibly creative time because we have been sequestered. We have been, in home, and where are you going to go? So, like, I had a little operation on the foot for some bunion surgery, and what a perfect time to recuperate from that. But also keeping me with my nose on the grindstone about some things that I've wanted to do, one of which is write this piece. And it's just been a really incredibly creative time where, I mean, I'm a little like you, I'm a little zoomed out. Yeah. But, I took a course up at CCNY, which went Zoom, obviously. Lots of play readings online, lots of stuff. So,
yep.
The family's all here. The adult kids have moved back home, and we're having a lot of fun and a lot of laughs and having meals sort of on a more regular basis than we've ever had, and making them pay part of the rent. So anyway,
I like that. Let's get those kids in there. I've been having dinners with old friends. Just call them up and go, "Oh, let's get together on Saturday night for dinner," and it's great. So we're kind of catching up. So
good deal.
Anyway, You may change out of your very attractive attire, but I hope your wife sees it first.
She approved.
Yeah, I know you have blue jeans on the bottom.
I do.
I know. But just tell her, darling, look at my magnificence from here up.
All righty.
Okay?
Thank you much.
This. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here, neighbor.
Pleasure.
All right. Now it's me. Ha, ha, ha. Just wanted to check, make sure it was me. Information is overrated. That's what he was saying. Those were his exact words. I remember because he was not a tall man. He was a small man. Not a midget. Certainly not at that bar. Just average. And his hair was combed back and it curled at his collar. And he was wearing a very expensive leather jacket. And he was carrying a cigar. It's one of those men, you don't know what, Italian or Spanish or Israeli or Egyptian or Iraqi or terrorist. You know, someone dark who wouldn't think twice about blowing himself up and his very expensive coat to kingdom come, along with anyone sitting next to him. In other words, he was not blonde. I don't think we have any blonde terrorists yet. Thank goodness. Or else you'd have to be suspicious of everybody, wouldn't you? And what would be the point of that? Blonde people don't blow themselves up. Blonde people blow other people up. People who are somewhere else. Blonde people aren't even around when the other people get blown up. I don't think that's terrorist, is it? I don't think so. Anyway, the man, he says these exact words. He says, information is overrated. Just loud enough for me to hear. And the bartender says to him, understood. And they do one of those handshakes, you know, that the men have now. The bartender pours the man something. Scotch, rye, I don't know. Pours it into a shot glass and leaves the bottle on the bar. Get that. It was like a Wild West saloon. And the man just sat there and kept pouring shot after shot. I was thinking about calling the police, actually. But then I thought, what would I say? There's a man with a cigar who has information that is overrated. I decided against it. Frankly, even if he was a terrorist, I don't understand terrorists. I don't understand the idea of terrorists. I guess that's because I'm not one. I'm not a terrorist. I'm just terrifying. Sometimes I'm terrifying. A few times a week. It's good for your circulation. Gets the blood going. You yell at the butcher. You make the delivery boy take the dry cleaning back. You frighten the housekeeper. It's necessary. Speaking of which, I don't know why we stopped calling them housekeepers, why we stopped calling them maids. That's what we used to call them. Maids. And then suddenly, we're calling them housekeepers. It's so frumpy. I guess we got the information that they didn't like it. I don't know how we got the information, but I guess we did, and that was that. I must ask Lydia about that. What does she prefer to be called? Not that it matters. You can frighten them all you want, but you don't get to push them around as much as you used to. It's unfortunate, but it's just not done. It's not done because we got the information, which in this case is overrated. That they didn't like it being called maids, I don't remember when we asked. Was there a time that we asked, what would you like to be called? Was there a time when we asked them anything? I don't think so. I remember once asking my grandmother for information, and she said, if you have to ask, then you don't need to know. Maybe that's what that man meant. But why do we care? Any of us. Really. Am I right? That's that. What's working for... Oh, hello, Tulis. Welcome. How are you? I live in Harlem. Oh, that's nice. What's working for you? It's a... I'm getting to spend time with myself. Duh. And just kind of re-examining hopes and dreams, meditating every day, waking up. I wake up at 5:30, and then I got to go lie down on the couch and meditate, and all the cats come over and go, and I just lie there and meditate. And just making note of the things that are happening, because at some point we'll all be, released, and then we'll all be into a new chapter. So whatever this is, I feel kind of protective about it. So I guess that's working for me. Let us see. Sydney, are you here, darling?
Yes, I am here.
We have a special appearance by the darling Sydney Meyer, who's, well, we're just calling this the radio theater portion of the piece because of circumstances, but we may just keep this as the radio portion of Monologues and Madness. Sydney, you carry on. I'm out of here.
Disparaging. Thank you. That is precisely the word I am looking for. The way she looks out over her glasses at you, like she wants to be certain you meant what you said before she even considers thinking about it. Like you were a little bug she is thinking about stepping on. No more important than that. And I'm not saying anything against bugs, because all God's creatures, well, they are gods, and anyway, no one is better than another. But that woman makes my blood get up. Well, hold on now. I think I need to get my breath. I am not used to talking so much. Before the accident, I think I probably averaged about 50 words a day for near most of my life. I guess so, about that. 50. Good morning. Fine. Yes, please. Okay. See you later. Good morning again. Fine. Okay. I'm going to lunch. Okay. Afternoon, ma'am. Thanks. I will. Okay. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Fine. Good night. Okay. Yep. About 50 words. That's enough when you think about it. Now I talk all the time and using college words. Loquacious. That's what I am. Ever since I got clunked. She says bonked. I say clonked because that is how it sounded to me. It might have looked like a bonk to her, but it sounded like clonk to me. And seeing as how I'm the one on the receiving end, I think I should be able to say what happened and not my sister. even if she is older. Once you have an older sister, she is always an older sister. And she will be telling you what to do until she gets heaved into the cold, dark ground. She got here first and thinks she owns the place. It doesn't matter if I am carrying a 6-ounce sack of sand across the street. She will tell me how to hold it and when it's safe to cross the road. And we don't have any traffic on this road. The only traffic on this road is us. Most times I just let it pass because she doesn't listen anyway. But not this time. No, siree, not this time. I am officially loquacious. That thing came out of the clear blue. I was not bonked. I was clonked. Finito.
Well done, Sydney. Well done. Oops, I got to go over here. So that was a monologue that I wrote. This is so funny, Sydney. I wish you could. Can you see the screen? And Sydney was darling enough to do it. So, my dear, you're there on the Upper East Side.
For whatever reason, Sydney disconnected just now.
See, he's just like, I'm done. I'm out of here. She told me to go. I'm gone. Anyway, thank you, Ruby. So, Sydney's on the Upper East Side. Sydney is the manager of Don't Tell Mama, and is hoping that they will be opening up in the sooner part rather than the later part. And that was the place that we were going to go to starting in April. So Sydney's part of the troupe now, and you can't get rid of us. Anyway, so Sydney, Holly Harms from the Poconos, or is it the Catskills?
Poke your nose.
At the Poconos. All right,
Poconos.
you need a little more light on your face.
It's the Poconos.
Can you get some more light on your face?
Yep.
Ah.
Oh, hang on. I can get. Wait.
That's good.
Wait, hold.
Lean forward. More better. We need a little more light. All right. You're just going to be there. Yeah. More. Yep. That works. Okay. I'm out of here.
I cook 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch. 2 good, healthy, made from scratch meals a day for the last 8 quarantined weeks. I make everything they like. Potato pancakes stuffed with veggies, dinosaur eggs, bacon sandwiches, ham sandwiches, my own spaghetti sauce over noodles and shrimp. I make everything they like. Unlike my mother, who used us as guinea pigs for her cooking adventures. The worst of the adventures when I was 9 and my sister Helly, 17. Heidi, the oldest, long gone, married kids. She didn't have to suffer. The dish my mother served, mashed potatoes, peas sauteed in garlic, and something fried up in her breaded batter. Helly and I stared at the breaded object on our plates. Helly asked Mama, who was mixing her mashed potatoes and peas, "Is this your breaded pork chops?" My mother stuffed a fork full of mashed potatoes and peas into her mouth and nodded. Looked at the mound of breaded something dead on our plates. Didn't look like her pork chops. Helly asked again, "These are your pork chops?" Mama again with a mouthful of potato mix. My father is unusually silent, his face practically in his plate. Helly cuts into the breaded mound and it oozes. This milky, grayish, lumpy stuff. We both push back from the table. We do not stand up. In this military German Southern household, you do not stand at the table, leave the table until you've asked permission. My parents have now both cut into their mounds of breaded mush and are eating, neither of them looking up from their plates. And all this eating is in quiet because what they are eating has no substance. It's all mush, mushy mush. Helly looks at our parents for some sort of explanation. I look at Helly, then to Mama. My father's head is so far down now, I see nothing but the top of it. What is going on? What is happening? Is she trying to feed us? My sister Helly finally says, looking to me, then looking to Mama, then looking to me, then back again. This goes on until Helly asks, what is this? Calves' brains, my mother says, as if this is some sort of wonderful, normal food people eat every day, like chicken or ham or bacon or turkey. Calves' brains, girls. Helly and I eat the potatoes and peas. Do not touch the calves' brains. I do not even cut into mine. My father was unusually lenient that night. I suspect he hated them, but he always ate what my mother put in front of him. He fed the brains to the dog. Years later, I asked my mother why she forced some really nasty stuff on us, like the brains, pureed spinach, escargot, creamed celery, creamed carrots, creamed Brussels sprouts. To make you healthy, she said. All those vegetables and meats, good for you. Why do you think your hair's so nice? My hair's not that nice. Oh, Holly, she said. Oh, Holly, that glass of yours. What glass? That half empty glass you're always drinking from. Oh, that glass. Done.
Oh, tell us the three girls' names in your family, please.
Heidi, Helly, and Holly.
You see, this explains so much. My mother, it was creamed.
My mother was Helen.
Helen, yeah.
Creamed what?
Creamed eggs, or something called Welsh rarebit, which was basically toast with a cheese sauce on it because we were Catholic and you can't eat, But the one that was it was turnip. It was the big orange rutabagas, and it made everybody gag. It just literally made us gag, and they, like I was 30 years old before I went, wait a minute. We weren't being fussy. We were actually gagging. So she had to go to the grocery store, and pick it. Just pick it out of the.
She had to pick it,
Yeah. Calves' brains. Wow. That's a good one.
Yeah. And she had to actually order those. Those had to be ordered. She saw them on the list and she ordered them.
See what I mean? This is going to be special.
Yeah, I can see my mother going, ooh, I've never had that before. Let's do that. The most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. And my sister Helly actually did start gagging. And I asked her later, years later, were you acting or was it real? And she said, oh, I was acting. I was acting. I couldn't, she said, I was not going to put that in my mouth.
Oh, not me.
Yeah.
No. One of my sisters didn't like lima beans. Another one, I think it was Ruthie, she didn't like green beans. But I don't know anybody who liked turnip. I mean, it was just, I'm going to puke. I'm going to throw up the beautiful steak that I just ate all over the. And I love rutabagas now. Absolutely love them. Go figure.
I was going to say, I love rutabaga. I love rutabaga.
So the last time we talked to you, you had snow, sleet, hail, wind, rain. I think we covered.
Yes.
How's it up there now?
Yeah. It up here, it's actually it's beautiful. I've been out in the garden. I'm planting and pulling out weeds, and it's in the 60s during the day, still 30s at night, but not.
Yeah.
But it climbs up pretty quick. Yeah, it's been an interesting. What it's done is it's kept everybody inside. Nobody really goes outside.
Yeah,
but the few people who are up here, we don't have a lot.
Yeah. It's really hard to feel sorry for people who have houses and yards.
Oh, yeah. I've said it again. Thank God we did this years ago.
Yeah, right.
We had the money. We could have either done an apartment, a down payment for an apartment, or actually bought a house. And
now you
bought a house. And
we've
been here for
many reasons why you did. Did I ask you what's working for you? Or did you just tell me? I can't remember.
Working for me is being able to go outside the garden, and the same as before. Running, I love running. It feels like my superpower that I can go running.
5 miles a day, right?
And cooking.
Yeah.
5 miles, yeah. Good memory. And cooking. I actually do enjoy making all this for them.
Who does dinners? Is that David? You did
David does dinners. David and I don't eat dinner at all, actually. But B does a little dinner, something. We have a big breakfast and a big lunch.
Yeah.
But David makes a little something for B for dinner.
Well, see, when my dad was coming up, lunch was called dinner. And then in the evening was a snack. It was called supper.
Supper. Yeah. No, that's how we had dinner and supper. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, my darling. It's wonderful work as always.
Thank you.
All right. Mwah.
Thank
You're
you.
Mwah. Somebody's out of somewhere. Next up, my oldest friend here, Jeffrey Hedquist. Going this way.
I don't always eat calf's brains, but when I do, I prefer it with turnips. Hi. So, Danny, you wanted some dating advice. Look, you're my favorite nephew, and I don't want to steer you wrong. What? Your mom told you to do the opposite of what I did when I was dating? Well, she was there for most of it, so it's probably good advice. Okay, first off, the tanning thing. Our whole side of the family is, let us say, melanin challenged, you included. My attempts to look like a bronze surfer dude, no matter how many hours I wasted on the beach, only resulted in me looking like a boiled lobster. And it turns out that there just aren't that many girls looking to hook up with a bright red crustacean. Look in the mirror, Danny. You're one of us. Just stick with the SPF 900 or whatever it is. Put your attention on other ways to become attractive to the opposite sex, like I did. My life was simple, Danny. Go to school, ride my bike, collect stamps, coins, Boy Scout, merit badges, but it all changed when puberty hit. I wanted female companionship more than anything. I was obsessed. I was clueless. Where did I go for dating advice? My mom. My desire was to attract a girl and get to third base. No, Danny, let me explain. To me, first base was holding hands, second base would be me putting my arm around a girl, and third base would be a kiss. Yeah, I know, baseball has changed a lot since I was your age, but bear with me. Look, I didn't dare use the baseball analogy with my mother, so I told her I just wanted to be popular. Yeah, that was it. A big mistake. Her advice was designed to present me as a good marriage partner. Trust me, good marriage partners were not getting to third base when I was 13. My mom had prepped me to be liked by other moms. No, not that way, Danny. No, in the, oh, what a nice young man kind of way. So lots of girls chose me as their friend, someone they could tell their troubles to, confide in about their boyfriends. Drove me crazy. Look, I don't want to be your best friend. I just want to, you and me to, yeah. Oh, Jeffrey, you're so funny. My mom loves you. Great. My 8th grade class photo says it all. Everyone is lined up. We're all dressed in our finest. I'm in the top row. Blue blazer, matching slacks, white shirt, clip-on bow tie, fresh flat top haircut, waxed, to give it that special snowplow look, because what girl wouldn't want to run her hands through that upright bristle and sticky wax? Yeah, I was clean, I was perky, I was a perfect little gentleman as I could be, the opposite of what any girl would be interested in. In that same row is a guy I'll call Mike, since that was his name. Hair, a little bit too long, open shirt, no sports jacket, no tie, all attitude. Mike got all the girls. The lesson was there, but I didn't get it. He looked like James Dean. I looked like Pee Wee Herman. I was trying so hard to be liked, and it showed. None of this got me to first, second, or third base. I couldn't even imagine what a home run might be like. I Experienced a lot of strikeouts and walks, and some games were rained out. I spent a lot of time in the dugout. I tried to steal some bases, but I always got tagged out. Look, I never really played baseball, Danny, except in my imagination. But I could see that playing sports might be the key to meet girls. So, what did I do? I made a decision. I went out for, wait for it, cross country. Yes, Danny, cross country, the babe magnet sport. No spectators, no fans, no cheerleaders. Heck, even the chess club had cheerleaders. Can you imagine the cross country cheers? Yay, Jeffrey, he's our man. If he can't do it. But then we were gone. We were off running through fields, forests, parking lots, people's backyards, only to reappear a half hour later, sweating, exhausted, foaming at the mouth. Of course there was no one there to see us. We were watching the chess club play. So what else would make me cool? Become a musician. So I decided to learn the banjo. You still with me here, Danny? The 5-string banjo. Why? Probably because there wasn't an accordion or bagpipes in the house. So now I wasn't just not attracting girls, I was actively repelling them. What was I thinking? All bad choices, Danny. There are many more. Why go into them here? But the key lesson for you is to do the opposite of what I've done, or to search for someone who'd love a banjo-playing cross-country runner who turns crimson every summer.
Well, I'm just having a great old time tonight. Oh, Jeffrey. Well, I remember a lot of that. But by the time you got to high school, baby, you were I have to say that. So, that banjo. But then you'd also graduated to the guitar. So I mean you were just like, oh.
Yep. It's still with me. Yeah.
I know. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It just
I did it all wrong. But there you go.
Well, that's how you got where you are today, bucko.
Yeah, there you go.
You'd still be in Bristol.
I know.
Law firm or something. So
oh God.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see. Yeah.
So but I think everybody's sitting here going, "Oh my God, that age, that grammar school, who's on, and what is first, and why does anybody?" Well, that's not what they do today, but that's what we did back then.
That's what we did then.
Yeah, it was just all such a fog of how do I be cool and what do I have to do, and what boxes do I have to check off?
I know, and the whole thing was just be yourself, and stop worrying about that. Did Mike worry about any of that? No. He paid no attention to the girls at all. Went out for all the, the contact sports, and he just was cool. Yeah. Did I pick up on that? No. Took me years.
Oh yeah, in my class, it was a woman named Darcy Lincoln who had the boys they were so I made her my best friend because I figured.
Yeah, woman.
But she was all like, oh. And I would watch her and think, wow, how does she do that? That's really amazing, Meanwhile, I'm just at a total loss about speaking English, but she just had them.
There you go.
So I was like the bodyguard. So they had to go through me to get to Darcy because, I knew how that was going to work.
No, man.
So, oh, goodness. Well, it's wonderful to see you, my darling. Just wonderful.
Good.
Please come back. Will you please come back?
I will, and maybe we can actually see each other closer, like less than 6 feet away someday.
We could. Yes, we're going to do that. And so I know there's a lot of wonderful things that are working for you. Just give me a couple.
Well, to an extent, things haven't changed for me, because what do? I spend most of my time in front of the computer writing or inside the studio talking. But the other part is I go out and I give seminars, or I used to, and they're all canceled. And that's like the major part of our business. So that's all gone. So I'm working with clients long distance, finding the stories in their businesses, showing them how to use that, and the farm is doing well. We've got,
Yeah, you have an organic farm.
yeah, we got many acres out here, and we have honeybees, and we have chickens. We just added another dozen chickens, and we've got 7 or 8 people here, and a couple of kids, and they're all running around. That's kind of cool. So that's my social contact.
Right. Chicks and ducks and geese.
geese. Exactly. And we've got isinglass windows.
And they roll right down?
They do, yeah. Just in case there's a change in the weather.
Yeah. So you're in Iowa and you do commercials and you coach people on how to audio commercials, right?
Yeah. And a lot of what I'm doing now is talking to people about their businesses, because I've worked with thousands of them all around the country, and find out the stories that they're not telling anybody. And it turns out that those stories are the most powerful way for that business to connect to their customers. So that's the fun of what I'm doing now. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So
all right. If I was any happier, I would just fall over and die to see you. So I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy.
Thanks.
So we'll talk soon, and thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay. Now the Taffy Jaffe that we thought was lost has been found, and she's here. And I'm out of here. Oh, I'm out of here.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. I have been on the with Gordon Gilbert on the phone for like over an hour, and all he keeps saying to me is, "Am I in yet? Am I in yet?" No, darling, you're not in yet. So, but he got me in, or I got him in, or he's in. How is the lighting? Everything good?
Yep, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. I can't believe that I'm actually doing this other Zoom cast, or as I call it, Doomcast. I mean, really. I just love this. I love telling jokes to an empty room where there's no laughter to distract me. It's just a pleasure. And I'm so technologically savvy. I mean, before this, Gordon actually gave me a download. I mean, I prefer an upload, if you catch my drift. Anyway, I think that technology, I'm convinced, is a form of elder abuse. Not that I consider myself old, and neither do the young dudes after I finish playing with them. But these days, I'm not playing. I'm so stressed out, I'm ready to blast. I could screw up all my relationships. So when someone really frustrates me that I'm at my end, that's what I do, and it's terrific. It works out. I call a friend and just talk behind their backs. Ranting behind their backs has been working. It's kind of like paying a shrink to complain about my father. It takes enough off the edge so that I could tolerate them again. Like, for example, I've been quarantining with my boyfriend, Vinny. Now, this guy is so old that by the time he thinks of something to say, he forgets it. And he would love for me to forget anything I have to say. So in order to get that done, he pulled out his hearing aids. So I gave him the silent treatment to see how he'd like it. P.S. He loved it. So I was at the end of my rope. I had to talk behind his back in order to avoid killing him. So that worked out. Now, when I think about my past, I realize I would be a happier woman if only my mother had talked behind my back about me. Instead of her disapproval was constantly obvious. For example, I would ask her what I call as a simple question. I was a little kid. And I'd ask her like, "Ma, who's older, me or my sister?" Right? Her answer, "What do you need to know?" And I couldn't be shut up. I kept trying. I'd say to her one day, I said, "Ma, I haven't seen Grandma around. Did she die?" Her answer, you got it. What do you need to know? Anyway, I'm at my end of my rope, and zoom, doom. Gordon Gilbert is going to heaven. He's a saint. He helped me. I love him. So I thank you all for listening to me, because there's not too many who are willing to these days. And please talk about me when I'm gone. Thank you all.
Well, I am liking this color on you, Miss Chaffee.
Oh, you're so good.
No, you usually wear that really bright red, but I'm liking this rose color with the rose.
Really?
Yeah.
212-691.
5555. Keep it 555. You don't want people calling you. Well, thank you for persevering. You were supposed to be on an hour ago, and you just stuck with it, Missy. So congratulations. Hopefully we get this ironed out. And thank you to Gordon who helped you.
I love him.
I know, right. And plus he's in your neighborhood. You could walk with him. You could be socially distant.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The truth is, when if you want to ask me what's good about what's going on is that I don't go out and I don't feel guilty about it. My exercise program at this point has been aerobic chewing, and also aerobic chewing and and phone jaw, whatever you call it. I give very good phone. You understand? So
I heard that about you. I heard that about you a long time ago. Vinny, as a matter of fact, your boyfriend Vinny told me that.
That guy, he's terrific. I can't believe that I'm lucky enough to have somebody here that not only, you've heard of being nagged to death. Well, this guy I have nagged to life. And it's just thrilling that he's here and he could still be here. Terrific.
Yeah. He's one of the best, I have to say.
You're right. And Tulis, I want to thank you for sticking to all this technology. And I don't know how you do it, baby.
I don't know either. I don't know. I really don't know. But I have a lot of people. I have a lot of people who love to do this. So you're one of them, and that makes a big difference.
I wouldn't say I love to do it. I'd say I'm more of a masochist.
Well, then you love to be a masochist.
Yes, that's true.
There we are. Now we're cooking. All right, my darling.
Thank you.
Go have your adult beverage.
Thank you, baby.
All right. Mwah. Love you.
Love you.
All right. So, God, we do go on, don't we? All right. So for those of you who are here, I want to thank people who have given. David, Joan, Beth, Lynn, Polly, Laird, Cara, Molly, Taria, Lee, Jason, Stephen, Emily, Alice, Carol with 2 L's. And we just cleared expenses. So that's a good thing. And if we can ever get any more, if you can spare it, I know. Robert, something HDWP. I don't know what that is. Sherry and Holly. I think there's some people that I'm missing. I don't know why. I think Margaret gave something, and I don't know where it's not on my screen. But if you gave something and I didn't read it off, it's there. Or you can write me. You can contact me. tipsmixie@mac.com. Next up, first of all, thank you. Thank you for the 8 people that are still here. Just thank you. Means a lot. I think monologues are the center of theater. I think that's how it all started. And I'm particular to them. So, like that. The next show we're going to have is June 4th. And I don't have the lineup yet, but it will because I'm the producer. That's it. Anything I can do to help you? If anybody wants to be part of it, tipsmixie@mac.com. Bada bing, bada boom. We're out of here.